And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. 23 Volt here for some more rotation change analysis. Bloodcraft is going to be our topic of the day. In any case, let's go over what Bloodcraft is currently at right now with the rotation. Probably the effective, or is this the effective one? No, it's not. So this is a Machina Natura deck, mainly surrounded to win con with mono, by using Natura Al Machinas to discount mono, control blood, vengeance blood. Oh, sick! I love these kinds of decks. This deck, I haven't seen this in a long time. This is fun. Mid-range Wrath Bloodcraft. I've never heard of that one before. I mean, the whole point is I'm assuming get to this, so... But that's the thing with Bloodcraft. Bloodcraft has so many different archetypes that are all pretty good. So here are the cards that are going to get removed. Probably the big ones. Hellblaze Demon. This was an amazing card for like a kind of a hand buff blood aggro deck. Mono is going to be gone, so that means Machina blood is probably no longer a major thing, because this was the win condition, because you can easily get her, flood the board with other Machina followers like androids and whatnot. Succubus, this used to be a terror when Evo blood was a thing, so Metal Blade Demon is also pretty good because, again, it's essentially card draw for Machina. I mean, Machina doesn't really need card draw in itself, but this definitely helps, as well as the evolve effect is pretty neat to have during the evolve turns. But yeah, I think the biggest loss for blood would probably definitely be mono. Sanguine Core, this was actually also really good for control-based Bloodcraft. For those who did like staying at the 20 health threshold, as well as pinging themselves a lot, this thing was essentially your lifeline. But now that it's gone, then yeah, I don't know where else that can go. Unleash the Nightmare, thank you for getting rid of this. This card was essentially used in every single deck. You draw 2 cards, you summon a 2/2 on board for 3. It's really good. This is just a really good card. This is also bad for aggro decks. Do Duke and Dame. Bloodcraft losing a lot of good cards, and I didn't even mention Slain, but Slain is kind of like that one-of Machina card in my opinion, because most of the other Machina cards, because it's expensive, it's easy to proc, but you don't need that many Sylvains because Slains, because you're not going to be playing too many back to back in my opinion. Let us go over all the Bloodcraft cards that are introduced for the upcoming pack, Fortune's Hand. So first we have the 14th tarot card, Luzin, Temperance. Accelerate 0, put Unselfish Grace into your hand. If Avarice is active for you, put an Insatiable Desire into your hand instead. So this thing is a 9 play.77. While it can't be targeted by enemy effects. While this follower is in play, your leader has the following effects. Your leader cannot take more than 1 damage. When your leader takes damage, reduce the enemy's maximum defense by 3. That ability is fantastic, but then you might be wondering, how the hell are you going to get this guy out? Well, because like turn 9, you get him out there, and then like because the opponent's either turn 10, turn 9 as well, it's probably dead, right? Well, that's what the Accelerate effect is for. Unselfish Grace is a 3 play point amulet, where as long as you didn't draw a card, you put this in your hand. At the end of your turn, restore 1 defense to your leader. If you have more evolution points than your opponent, restore 2 defense to your leader. So this is a very controlled deck, and this is probably going to work well with Wrath-based abilities, because last words, after the 5, you summon a 4 play.4 for Luzins without Accelerate, so you summon this guy, which means that you automatically get all of these effects. In my opinion, this is actually really good, because when you get this, when this thing summons, so this thing comes out, I think, around turn 8. That means you have about 8 play points of self-ping to do to yourself to reduce not just reduce the enemy's like attack, like defense in general, but just to, because like, let's say for example, your opponent is just constantly fully healing. Like, this is super control. Like, you have this guy out, you can damage yourself. Like, Razory Claw. Essentially, you deal 1 damage to yourself, you deal 3 damage to the enemy follower, the enemy leader, but it also reduces their max health by 3. So, you can just self-ping yourself when this guy comes out of the countdown. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool that it really is essentially around self-pinging, because at the end of your turn, you restore 1 defense. which again, since you self-ping a lot, you're taking damage anyway. So I like this card. This card's got it's pretty big main use. The other version is interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it. Give your leader the following effect: at the start of your turn, draw a card. Start of your turn, lose 1 play point. Thing about this is that I'm not sure. Like, clarify me if I'm wrong. But I feel like a lot of people were kind of sketchy about this, and that's mainly just due to the fact of the second part where you lose 1 play point. The thing that I notice is that it's only 1 play point, not 1 play point orb. So at every turn, you essentially just play 1 less for an extra draw. In my opinion, this is amazing for aggro, because obviously in aggro decks, played like the lowest of low cost cards out consistently. So you're drawing 2 cards to play low cost cards, constantly adding pressure, doing face damage to the opponent. In my opinion, this is really good. This is an amazing card for aggro decks. Like, I don't know if it's... I think drawing it early would be good. I don't know how good it is. I don't know how good aggro is. That's all I'm saying. Because I think another thing with aggro is that they really relied on vengeance effects. Not that the fact that they are just like aggressively statted, in your face, damage to both leaders kinds of cards, you know. But I really think that this card can be useful. Darhold, Abyssal Contract. 4 play point 4/3 legendary Bloodcraft. Fanfare: if Wrath is active for you, destroy an enemy follower, then deal 3 damage to the enemy leader. Pretty good. Pretty easy to proc. Nice ability. This is kind of like, I don't know if it's the replacement of the other, but you guys remember what I mean. Like, it's a legendary card that has Wrath, destroy an enemy follower. If you deal damage to yourself this turn, deal +1/+1. As well as if you had Wrath, you could Storm. You know, that follower, yeah, if you know what I mean. It has that same thing where, you know, you destroy an enemy follower, you deal 3 damage to the leader, so in a way it's like, oh, I get Storm just for having Wrath, which is good. And then Evolve, deal 3 damage to your leader, which again will help with the whole Wrath thing. Summon a Diabond, which this is amazing. There's going to be so many freaking self-heals for Bloodcraft, which is fun. Start of your turn, restore 2 defense, draw a card. So there's going to be a lot of card draw for Bloodcraft, which is fantastic. You don't have to worry about the fanfare effect because this thing is summoned, so that's pretty neat. Vampire Calamity, accelerate 1, deal 1 damage to your leader, deal 2 damage to enemy follower. Great accelerate. Goes towards Wrath. 7 play point 7/7 rush. If Wrath is active for you, deal 4 damage to an enemy, restore 4 defense to your leader. So it's very defensive in its body form. Oh, and also it is to an enemy. So if you want to reach, if you're close to the enemy like leader and you want to reach for a kill, this can be a kill card, but most likely you're going to be playing this for the accelerate effect to go towards Wrath. Contemptus Demon, 2 play point 2/2 gold card, so good stats. If Wrath is active, you gain the ability to evolve for 0 play points. I'm sorry, I just ate, by the way. I did have a little bit of a lunch break, and I'm very full, so I'm going to be very hiccupy, so please don't mind me. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to your leader. At the start of your turn, restore 2 defense to your leader. Very good. Yeah, Wrath is going to be super accessible at this point. Oh, and there's an extra evolve effect. During your turn, whenever your leader takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower, up to 10 times per turn. Wow, this card is amazing. So you play it, you evolve it. Like, let's say there's an enemy with 3 defense, an enemy follower with 3 defense. You just have to like let it just get hit. Like, let your leader get hit. Since your leader got hit during your turn, they deal 3 damage to random enemy follower. It does that up to 10 times per turn. So that also means that like they did limit it, but I don't know how the fuck you're gonna hit yourself 10 times per turn. That's kind of insane. Like, how often can you hit yourself? Tyrant of Mayhem, 3 play point 3/3 silver with fanfare, draw a card. So 3/3 draws, pretty good. If Vengeance is not active for you, deal 2 damage to your leader, so Wrath again. Otherwise, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader, and it's also aggressive. Not bad. A good body, card draw, gets you to Wrath. Good card. If you're in Vengeance, 2 damage to the enemy leader. Good for aggressive decks as well. Whiplash Imp, 2 play point 2/2 silver follower. If Wrath is active for you, get +1 and Rush and Drain. So it becomes a 2 play point 3/6 with Rush Drain. Holy crap. And Enhance, summon an Imp Lancer. If you don't know what an Imp Lancer is, it's a 3/6 with Storm. The Imps are going to be like, essentially just kind of tied down together, which that's pretty cool. I like the flavor of that. Summon alongside it. So essentially what you get out of this is that Enhance 6, if you have Wrath active, you get a 3/6 with Rush and Drain. And then you have a 3/6 with Storm. It's really good. I like it. Still, fuck. 5 cost silver spell. This better be good. Burning Constriction. Deal 4 damage to all enemy followers. If Vengeance is active for you, deal 4 damage to the enemy leader. Like Sword, how it has that AoE like destruction spell, this is actually okay because there are going to be a lot of decks out there that will play wide. So dealing 4 damage to enemy leader, I can understand that. That is perfectly fine. Vengeance is active for you. I mean, it can also reach the enemy leader, which is good. I mean, that's the whole thing with Bloodcraft. It's like you need to kill yourself before all of your stuff just goes haywire. But I think there are better things to play at 5 in my opinion. But again, it's not a bad card if you're getting constantly screwed by like if you need that AoE spell. Moonrise Werewolf, a 2/1/3 bronze follower. If Avarice is active for you, you get plus the 0/+2 and ward. So if you draw a card, this becomes a 1/5 with ward. Enhance 5, gain +3/+3. I mean, it's a solid body, no doubt. In fact, actually, it's actually pretty good. It's a 1/5 with ward, annoying to deal with, set you up, you know. Maybe if you have no other 2-drops, this is not a bad card to include, in my opinion. I actually think it's okay. Okay, Silver Bolt Hunter, 1 play.12. Bronze Follower, Fanfare, deal 1 damage to your leader. Good. For the Wrath, last words, give +1/+1 to a random allied follower. Again, the self-ping, very good. The last words is kind of just a bit of a bonus, and it's a good stat line of 1/2. So it's like, it's a goblin with extra like abilities on it, which is a good card. Curmudgeon Ogre, 4 play.44 bronze follower. Enhance 6. So it's, at 4, it does nothing. Enhance 6, give +1/+1 to all Bloodcraft followers. If Vengeance is active for you, give +2/+2 instead. Shit card. I mean, it looks cool as art-wise, but no, I don't think it's not that impactful. Dark Summons, 2 play.point bronze spell. Deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. If Wrath is active for you, recover 2 play points. Free! If you activate Wrath, free, deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. Thank fuck it's enemy follower. If it was enemy, Bloodcraft wins with Wrath. But nope. Cool. Great card. Great card. Wrath is amazing. And there's so many ways to play with it. So I have nothing more to say. There's so many effects with blood now that really goes to show that Bloodcraft is just wrecks havoc. Yeah, I can see a lot of players gonna play around Permafrost Behemoth, which is dope. I used to play this deck a lot, but I personally had a lot of troubles. Ava Gravy, as I like to call him, is also gonna benefit so much for this. Yeah, Wrath is just gonna be all over the place. And see, look at all the many cards that self-ping. I think it's very easy. Very, very easy. Self-pings. Just look at all the self-pings. There's so much you could work with. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this all comes together. In my opinion, it's going to be one of those decks where I think this is going to be used to just kind of set up for your Behemoth. Like, I don't know if you can, like, when you get it out, if you can decrease it that many times so that you get to the magic number, because again, you're decreasing the maximum health by 3 if you've got it out at like turn 8. So you have 8 play points to ping yourself to then finish with Behemoth and turn 9. Very good. That is extremely good, and I'm totally going to do that. Will I craft this? I don't know. In terms of cards I'm going to craft, I'll probably go that into like whenever I go to the neutral section and explain that stuff there. But anyway, that's going to do it for Bloodcraft. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any ideas on how you're going to play around with Bloodcraft, please let me know. I think to summarize everything, Machina got hit hard. It looks like Wrath Bloodcraft is going to be a thing now. What was the other Bloodcraft deck that was still fucking good? Just Control Bloodcraft is also just generally really good as well. But yeah, there's a lot of like self-heal to work with Bloodcraft now, because especially since the 3-play-1 Amulet Restore 10 is gone. So there you go. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time for Havencraft.